Hey everybody, Stinger here with a special message, a special thank you to the best Italian wrestling podcast. That's right, the best Italian wrestling podcast called Pro Wrestling Culture. Specifically, thank you to Aldo Fiadoni. All right, Aldo, awesome job, man. I guess you and I met in New York in 2019. And there were some tears shed there. Man, I love that. I love that. You know what? Real men can cry, bro. Let me tell you something. Man, means a lot that you watch. Means a lot that this podcast is happening and the pro wrestling culture appreciates Aldo Fiadoni. So be watching there. It's going to be showtime. And tune in to the podcast, Pro Wrestling Culture, because it's always showtime there from the Stinger.
Questo programma non è soggetto a infezioni. It's showtime.
Hello everybody, this is the Professor Matteo Pagliarella and here with me Rachele from Donne tra le corde. Hello Rachele.
Hi everybody.
And for this brand new episode of Pro Wrestling Culture, the official podcast for EPW, here with us the Session Moth Martina. Hi Martina.
Hi guys, how are you? Thanks for having me on.
Welcome to Italian Podcast.
Thank you very much. Excited for it.
So, Martina, when did you start and what was your inspiration for this career and this kind of sport entertainment?
Well, I started all the way back in 2011, so a very long time ago. But I suppose my inspiration was I just loved wrestling, and I found that there was a wrestling school in Dublin, and I remember initially thinking like, oh, I'll just train to be a referee, or I could never do that. But I just wanted to see what it was about and see what it was like. So I joined the school, and I ended up staying as like a fitness routine or whatever. But I ended up falling in love with it. I made all my friends there, and then I just stuck at it, and things just got better and better.
Okay, and what was your motivation to start? Why you started?
I guess, as I said, I just wanted it to be a bit of a weight loss thing at the start. I didn't think I'd ever make anything out of it. I never thought I'd make a career out of it. When I first started, I never even thought I'd be brave enough to go on shows. I never could have imagined doing half of the stuff I do now. But once I started, little doors started opening, and it just got better and better. And that was my motivation every time. I just wanted to do a little bit more every time.
Okay. And talking about your career, you had a lot of experience around the world. You have been in USA, you have been in Japan. You of course, obviously, you worked a lot in Europe, and could you tell us the difference between this kind of reality?
I mean, yeah, wrestling is different everywhere you go. It's different everywhere in the world. Like in Europe, it's very different to how it is in America. America's very TV based, and sense of humors are different. Wrestling styles are different. Japan, obviously, it's a lot more quieter, the crowds and so on. So that was always very interesting. But I love Japan. I thought Japan was amazing. The crowds there, I really enjoyed them. Making them laugh was always really cool. Yeah, like it is different everywhere you go, but at the end of the day, everybody loves wrestling and everybody just wants to have a good time, right? So
Mhm.
that's why I think no matter where you go all over the world, people are going to get into, the party atmosphere that
Mhm.
I like to bring.
You showed also an important side of you, an extreme side when you wrestled in a GCW. So could you tell us, or could you share your experience in the GCW?
uh, yeah, that wasn't me. That's Session Goth. Session Goth does all the
Okay.
hardcore stuff. No, yeah, for TNT and in the UK, I always end up doing the odd debt matches, which are always really fun. And then I did them with GCW with Ali Cat when they came over. And yeah, no, I do like a good debt match, but I think I might be getting a bit too old for them now. I might slow down on them now.
Okay. And do you think that the European wrestling is starting now a new era? We heard about NXT Europe, and
Yeah,
for example, in Italy, we had a lot of Italian guys that showing very lot of themselves. For example,
yeah,
our friend Akira in New Japan. So, what do you think about this?
amazing. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, in Ireland alone now we have loads of Italian trainees with us at our school, in
Hmm.
the School of Irish Wrestling, and I'm sure you've probably seen Renzo Rose is becoming huge, and we've a lot of debuting Italian people. So they,
Yeah.
yeah, it really is starting to blow up, especially with NXT Europe. I think everyone's starting to up their game again because you know everyone's
Hmm.
hoping for a shot at it. So yeah, I think like post COVID now things are getting very interesting. I think next year is going to be a bit of the boom again. We're back to the
Hmm.
big boom of wrestling, but this year has been a really great setup to get back to it.
Okay, and you talked about the situation during pandemic, and how did you feel during this period? Do you train? Did you
During the
wrestle some?
pandemic,
Yeah.
no, there was everything was shut. There was absolutely no wrestling for. I didn't
Okay.
step foot in a ring for over a year, which was really really hard. Obviously, at the start of the pandemic, I was still with Ring of Honor. And they continue. I was with Ring of Honor right through until the very end of the pandemic, so I was looked after, which was always very great, and I'm very grateful for that. But I always thought I was going to end up going back to Ring of Honor, which sadly wasn't the case. But yeah, no, it was very tough. It was very hard. Obviously, everything being shut down, had
Mhm.
very limited access to friends, no wrestling for a long time. But I'm just glad that we made it through.
Okay. Okay. Raquel, it's your turn. If you have some questions, of course.
Of course. Since we are talking about your amazing career, I was wondering what is the fondest memory that you have about wrestling?
Oh, that's a hard one. I've so many. I feel like every time I wrestle, I create new fondest memories. Like everything's great. Like I love all my friends in wrestling. I love traveling with my friends and everything like that. Some of when the shows are wild, it's the crowd when the crowd's into it. It's amazing. All my entrances are my fondest memories. I have so many. It's too hard to pick.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
You have wrestled various federation and against many different opponents, like Matteo said. Do you feel ready to go against two such big names, Amal and our very own Queen Maya for the title?
I mean, I've never wrestled either of them, so I am very excited. I don't know if I'm fully prepared. I don't know. Maybe I might just go and end up drinking all day. Who knows? No, but I'm very excited. I'm gonna give it my best shot. I'll drink as many beers as gets me through the match. Oh yeah, I'll give it a good go.
Nice, nice. So you have something to say directly to them, maybe a message?
Oh well, all I
One
can say
second. One
now.
second. One second. One second. 1 second. Okay.
Honeys, girls, You can bring all the sass you want. You ain't got nothing on Session Moth Martina. All I need is a few cans and a good buzz, and I'm ready to rock. You guys cannot handle the sesh, but I'm looking forward to seeing you try.
Okay, great.
That was
Great.
perfect.
Yeah, this was perfect.
Mhm.
And I have one last question. Is the most important to me because I'm the founder of the first and only women's wrestling blog here in Italy, and
Amazing.
I ask this question to all the wrestlers that I interview. So, what is women's wrestling to you?
Women's wrestling is my life. I love it. It's everything. Women's wrestling is, I think, so much more than any other kind of wrestling. You know what I mean? I love it. I can't even put it into words. It saved my life. I love everything about it. I'd be lost without it. That was the one thing that kept me going through the pandemic was the idea of coming back and being a spearhead for women's wrestling, especially in Ireland, and getting to travel the world as a successful female professional wrestler from Ireland. You know, I'm very proud of my success and being a female from Ireland. So yeah, it's great.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
your
very much.
amazing work inside the
Oh,
ring.
thank
It's
you. Thank
very
you for having me.
important.
And I'm very excited. I've never wrestled in Italy before, so I'm very excited to debut there for the first time in 12 years. I'm so excited.
Thank you, amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, Martina, I have only probably the biggest question of this podcast, and I ask for every interview, and I want to ask you, could you share to us some funny stories, some funny things that happens to you during your, I don't know, wrestle match or backstage or what you want? We're
Uh,
I assure you, we heard a lot of funny things, a lot of funny
oh,
things.
I don't know. I mean, a lot of funny things happen to me. Like I get lost half the time. I need a minder to get me from A to B most of the time. Um, I tend to lose my voice every time I wrestle. I scream a lot and my voice ends up going. And the next day, if I'm hungover, I have no voice. And only the other day, I was in the ring and I was tagging with Man Like Doris. And I had no voice and I was trying to get the crowd into it. And as I was trying to scream, Session Moth, my voice completely went in front of everyone, and the entire crowd just went completely silent. And everyone in the room looked at me and just went, "What?" And I was just like, "Sorry." And then everyone just laughed at me. Oh, I'm gonna put it up on my Twitter in a few days, and I give full permission for everyone to laugh at me because it's very embarrassing.
Raquel?
Just one last question. Since you are from Ireland and a lot of great wrestlers are from Ireland, do you have a dream match maybe with someone from Ireland? I don't know, like Becky Lynch or
I was
other
just about to
wrestlers?
say Becky Lynch is my one and only dream match forever. That is, you can never beat it. The top independent girl versus the top WWE girl of all time. I think that's a match made in heaven, isn't it?
Yes, of course. She's the best.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. She's my inspiration, so.
Oh, so cute.
I have very last question. Very last question, and we can end this fantastic episode of pro wrestling culture. Martina, why did you choose the beer for
Why
your
wouldn't I
entrance?
choose
Why?
beer? Why would I love beer? There's nothing more to explain to it than that. Like, why wouldn't I want to come out with beer? I love beer.
Okay.
It
And
gets me in the party mood. All I need before I go out to party is a can or two, and I'm ready to rock. It's the same with wrestling.
okay,
Plain and
so
simple.
Wrestling's a party to me, man.
so do you want to try Italian beer?
Oh, obviously, of course. That's the only
Okay.
reason I'm coming. The championship is second. I
Okay.
want the beer first, then I want the championship. In that
Okay.
order. I'll drink the beer first, win the championship, and then drink more beer to celebrate. Easy.
Okay. And